Welcome back to the ID Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Please like, subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on the platform you listen or watch us on. Thank you so much for being here with us every week, apart from last week, because we had an Easter holiday. Please also share our podcast, share our page, share our reels, share everything. Also
help us out.
Yes, just help us out wherever you can. I'm also thinking about hosting a little giveaway competition on the channel.
Can I win it? Or is that...
Well, you'll probably get one anyway, so...
Oh, cool.
I found this guy's come into my inbox, or, the kids say slid into my DMs. And he does, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is in case it doesn't pay off and I have to change my mind, but like a merchandise item, so people use it as a free giveaway at conferences and things like that, and they are right up our street. Eco-friendly, non-plastic, super fun merch.
So what we've got to do, everybody, is if you could just subscribe on Spotify and YouTube, and then that will give Jen push we need to get whatever it is she's thinking about, because whatever it is, we're going to want it, because she's good at things like that. So just rally behind it, guys, so we can get our free whatever.
You don't have to enter the competition, Em, don't you worry. I'll give you one for free.
Okay, thanks. Just for turning up every week.
Yeah, just for being here. Combing your hair.
Oh yeah, I did my fringe. It's got a bit long at the moment. Just brush my fringe.
Looks nice.
Thanks.
I've got my hairbrush in pink.
Oh, they're good. Tangle teasers.
This week we're talking all the small things. So those little details that make your big day. This was your suggestion, wasn't it, Em?
Yeah. I think there are loads of small things that people do without really realising that make little details and make their day their day. I think it's important to sort of highlight some of the things people can do.
Yeah, I when I was prepping, really struggled with this, because I think I really struggled to think of the small little details that I put into my wedding to make it special for everyone.
You had loads.
Well, I'm hoping that you'll be able to tell me what they are, because I've only written down 3.
Yeah, you had loads.
Oh no, 4 or ish. Let's call it 4.5.
4-ish.
Yeah, 4.5. What were the little things that you did at your wedding, Em?
So I did, before the wedding had even started, I needed someone to wrap hundreds of jam jars in wool, because my wedding was very much in the jam jar era.
Mm-hmm.
So at my place of work,
Can we just pause for a moment? When did the jam jar era end, do you think?
Well, I think there was jam jar era, and then there's been big centerpiece era, and now we're going back into bud vase era. The bud vase era and jam jar era are kind of the same thing, but bud vases are just a bit more elevated. Mine were literally Dolmeo bolognese jam jars. You know.
And at what point did the jam jar move away from the vase to the glass you'd have your welcome drink in?
Oh,
because that is also a vibe.
Yeah, they're mason jars though. They're different, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
No clue what a mason jar is.
It's like a posh jam jar.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I basically did an internal campaign to get as many people with me one lunchtime wrapping wool around jam jars, because each one took about 5 minutes. So I thought, where are all the people that I know at lunch, at work? So I sort of did an internal campaign, get a free hot dog, and got loads of people down wrapping jam jars. So all the jam jars at my wedding were handmade by people that were supporting me. They weren't all invited, but that's...
I was going to say, Not everyone was at your wedding that spent their 30-minute lunch break wrapping the jam jars.
No, but everybody felt part of my day. So there we go.
Everyone felt included, whether or not they were invited.
And I've actually still got 3 of the jam jars at home. One of them's got like toothpicks in, and then I use them to put like breadsticks in when people come around and stuff, you know?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I did that. It's free labour, really, but it brought people along. I had like all of our, I mean, it's a bit embarrassing thinking about it now, but all of our table names were like Disney couples. So it's like Snow White.
Oh,
And
okay.
we had like really nice art prints that sort of depicted the tables. But I also had like a sort of I Spy bingo type thing. So on everybody's table setting, there was like a bingo card that you had to go and find all the hidden things. So I had like a glass slipper hidden in one of the eaves, and Buzz and Woody were hanging from a tree. And there was just loads and loads of things like that. So people could go around and have a look. And it was a bit personalized because it didn't really take that much. I just had to find a few props, and I literally just printed them on my home printer and cut the pieces of paper in half so they were like A5. So that wasn't that hard, but it was quite nice because it gave people things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a personalized frame made for the photo brief that looked like a bit like a Polaroid picture, and at the bottom it had our names and the date so people could hold it for the photo booth.
Did you keep that?
I did for a little while, but it was kind of on that foam board
Oh,
that
yeah.
was in the loft. So after a while, it got a bit bent, and you know when you shove more stuff in the loft, it gets sort of like crushed behind
Mm-hmm.
the duvets that you're sort of hiding in the loft. So
Yeah.
it didn't survive. What else did I do? We had, well, I've talked about this before on the podcast. We had like a his and hers dessert challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we both had a dessert that our favourite. So we sort of had a bit of a competition of who's got eaten the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite personalised because we made it clear that you're either picking one or the other.
Did they pick it on the day?
Because it
So,
was like each table had, so it was Jordan was apple crumble and custard, and mine was eating mess. So each table had like a bowl of it that you could help yourself to,
mm-hmm.
and then the kitchens worked out what had the most leftovers.
You won, didn't you?
Yeah, but we got married in the middle of summer, so eating mess was like the natural thing people, and also it is just better.
So true.
Yeah,
That's what I would have chosen if I had been invited.
yeah, it's better, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if you're getting a feeling here, guys, but Jen didn't come to my wedding because we were acquaintances, but we didn't really know each other that well. So
Don't you think that's weird?
what, that you didn't get invited to my wedding?
Yeah. I think your lack of response answers that question for me.
I mean, it would make sense because some of the people I invited to my wedding I don't talk to now, so probably would have been better if I just invited some of the randoms at work that.
Yeah. But I've stood by you since.
I'm sure there are loads of other things.
Didn't you have, wasn't you something blue? You're something borrowed, old, new, and blue.
Yeah, so something old and borrowed was my nan's pearls. Something blue, I had like I had a little charm on my garter, which is ridiculous. Nobody wears them anymore. But I also had a little charm in my flat, like on my bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something old, something. And my new was like,
New?
we sort of counted my dress and my shoes and my veil and my hair vine. And
Mm-hmm.
there must have been, oh, we did a first dance. We went and learned a foxtrot. That wasn't small though. That was I can dance. So that was very frustrating for me trying to teach my husband how to do foxtrot.
Yeah.
That needed a lot of prep. So
Mm.
that's not a small little thing.
Did you do the whole thing, just the two of you then?
Yeah, it was so awkward.
How long did that go on for?
Way too long. If anybody's going to do a first dance, make it half the song,
Mm-hmm.
and then make sure that somebody's, whether it's the best man or the father of the bride or mother of the groom or somebody, they're prepped to come on a certain word and
Mm-hmm.
take over a little bit,
Mm.
because it's just awkward. And then you sort of finish, everybody's like, yay, and then nobody knows what to do.
Did they all stay for the whole thing? So they were all standing there watching you do your first dance for like 3 minutes.
Yep.
Even I think the first like 30 seconds to a minute is awkward.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was awkward. Anyway.
I'm hoping the first dance dies a slow death, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't really see the point in it. I suppose you're opening the party, aren't you? But there's other ways that you could do it.
There's definitely other ways to do that. So the best thing that I ever saw, Orion, one of the best things I saw on our mega moon in America, we stayed at this it was like a lakeside hotel on Lake Tahoe, and our room had a balcony that looked directly onto the sort of rooftop terrace that they used to host wedding receptions. So
Mm-hmm.
people would have their ceremony off the jetty at the end, lovely little Lake Tahoe ceremony. Then they come over to the hotel, they'd set this rooftop terrace up for wedding breakfast, and they hadn't told me that I wasn't allowed to sit there, have a drink on my own balcony, watching these people have their wedding reception. So I was that person doing that.
Of
And
course you will.
they, the way that the bride and groom came into their wedding reception, it was like a procession of the bridal party with the groomsmen. So the bride and groom came in first, like they were announced by the MC. They came into like a personalized song, and then everybody in their bridal party and etc. was then announced after them. And they were coming in like doing a little bit of a dance together, a little bit of a twirl, and then when it sat down to me, it's less awkward than a first dance because you keep it moving.
Yeah, but I think that's different, because that's you entering your reception and then
Yeah.
you're going to have dinner. Then dinner's over. Everybody stands up, starts milling around,
Mhm.
maybe, chatting, maybe going to the bar to get another drink. The first dance to me is the bit that kind of gets the disco, like the band going, the disco, come on everybody, let's have a party type vibe. How would you do that?
You get the DJ or your MC to announce the bride and groom would like to welcome you to the dance floor to celebrate and dance their new marriage. And then you just play an absolute banger that people cannot help but dance to.
What would that banger be?
I mean,
Bop. I
the
had
first
some.
song that came to my head was S Club 7 Reach. I mean, who's not going to be able to dance to that? I love that song.
Or um
Oh,
roll.
Proud Mary,
Yeah.
Tina Turner, great song. Or you could have like an audience participation, so you could have like the Macarena.
Yep,
Everyone knows that dance.
they do.
Problem solved.
Okay. There we go, everybody. Don't do a first dance. Do the Macarena.
That's right.
Uh, so what little things have you got?
Well, our drinks reception was at the location of mine and Ian's first date.
Yep.
So after our formal ceremony, we invited everyone to join us for a casual drinks reception at the place that Ian and I went for drinks on our first date. Not everyone would have known that,
You did though.
but that was a small thing that we did. Because we thought, oh, where are we going to take everyone after that's in town and blah, blah, blah. Starbucks had closed, so we couldn't take them there.
Can you imagine turning up to Starbucks in your wedding dress?
It would have been great.
It would have.
Hired out the whole of downstairs.
Just like me going to McDonald's after
Mhm.
buying my wedding dress.
Yeah, Starbucks means more to me than most other places. So, also, all of the music that we had throughout our entire wedding was curated by Ian and I. So, I remember playing the video to a couple of people after. Was it after? It could have somebody came up to me maybe during or in the days after our wedding and said, "Oh, the music that was on the video that you played." So we had the video because we had a 2-day wedding. We had the ceremony on day 1, a small drinks reception, and then we had our big party on day 2, and we had a video that welcomed us that gave highlights from the day before. Even the music in that meant a lot to both Ian and I.
Mm-hmm.
The music that we played at our ceremony, that meant a lot to Ian and I. Music that we even asked the DJ to play meant a lot to Ian and I and our guests. So we also asked our guests for song requests so that we could build those in. The music for the entire 2 days and the experience and video edit that followed, it all means something to Ian and I.
Mm-hmm.
And like even to the detail and the lyrics and all of that.
Lots of thought went into it, didn't it?
That took ages. But then when somebody was like, "Oh God, I love that song," and what the lyrics is beautiful. Yes, on purpose.
I didn't think about any of that. The song that I walked down to the aisle on, we thought about a little bit, and our first dance song, we thought about a little bit. Other than that, we just left it to chance.
I don't like leaving things to chance. So,
no, you don't, do you?
But,
what else you got?
Pizza van. Pizza van Wednesday. I talk about it all the time on the podcast. Staple in our house. Every other Wednesday, Pizza van Wednesday. Although she told Ian the other day, "Oh, considering not coming to your village anymore." Pardon? Yeah, I'm just not making enough covers every week. She's gone from something like 85 to 90 pizzas to 65. But the only reason why we are considering staying in this village is because of Pizza Van Wednesday.
You are our only tie to this village.
If you take that away from me, what's keeping us here?
What have you got, eh?
Nothing. Nothing in my life exists without Pizza Van Wednesday. So it made sense to have her as our wedding caterer.
Yeah, it was great too.
Lots of people do this. We had pictures of Ian and I throughout the venue.
Mm-hmm.
On the bar when people walked in. I think I'd probably do that differently next time. Maybe just all black and white pictures or something like that. Also, our guest list. It's very small. Because I didn't.
Curated.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be in a situation like you are, like my best friend is, where even 3 to 5 years down the line, you're not even friends with some of these people anymore, yet they're in your entire wedding album and video.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing that, because you do have like friendships do go. But it is a bit of a kicker when everybody at your wedding is no longer really in your life. So you're like, I've got no one to sort of reminisce with about that.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a memory like mine and can't remember anything ever. You need people to like be with you to sort of help you relive some of their moments.
People with photographic memories.
Like you.
Would have helped.
I mean, I'm gutted you weren't there.
I could have told you. I could have date stamped every part of the day for you. I also would have been a guest, so I would have known all of the goss that was happening while you weren't there.
Yeah.
But we will never know.
We won't.
Unless you just renew your vows for your 10-year wedding anniversary.
I think we'll do something.
Can we do it in the Maldives?
I don't know if we could stretch to that. It might be in our garden.
Well, spoiler alert, because that's I pulled together a list of suggestions.
Can we just go back to yours a second? Because
Yeah.
there's a few that I've got from yours.
Oh, okay.
So I think your decor was wasn't a small thing, but it was a thing that really personalized because you and your family handmade it all.
Yeah.
And I'm particularly thinking about the little tiki bar.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Who made that?
That was my stepmom.
So
I
so
loved
your
it.
stepmom made like it was like a little wooden tiki bar that sat on the main bar, and it had a little thatched roof and there were little people in there. It was so cool. And like when
Very
you were just
funny.
waiting in the queue to the bar, you could have like all the little details in this tiki bar were really like cool to look at.
She'd also made a bride and groom to look like Ian and I.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the bride was on a swing
Can't remember that,
and
but
the groom was it behind the bar, I think. I'm gonna pull it out for Ian's birthday, so
it is
we'll
so
see it
cool.
then. But yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, but then I thought I've talked about the decor quite a lot because obviously now run our business. So
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't just do the bog standard thing of going to Hobbycraft and buying a few little things. You literally spent the months leading up to your wedding with your dad and Ian building all these things.
mhm.
So I think that was
Yeah,
quite special.
you
I
can
also,
now hire it for your own wedding if you like.
it's really good, guys. Promise, promise. And then I would say one of the small things that you did was think about the lighting
Yeah,
in your venue. So you had like a big dark barn, wasn't it? It's
yeah,
really, really tall ceilings. And I think if you hadn't thought about the lighting, so you had uplighters up the beams and you had festoon lighting,
yeah,
and then the lighting of the DJ. If you hadn't have thought about that, it would have been a very different experience.
yeah.
And so
That
I didn't think about lighting in mine at all, because my venue is one of them ones that at the end you pay an extra £300 to have the fairy lights turned on, and at
mhm.
the time that wasn't part of what we could do. But in in the day it really needed it.
Mm. So you didn't have them turned on?
No, it was a bit different. It was a bit different than when we were last there.
Hmm.
They did have to string them all up and everything, but it was particularly so my venue had two balconies where people would sit. It's like extra seating for your reception, so there was tables up there, and one of the balconies was slightly bigger, and they had like a curtain of lights to make it feel smaller, so they didn't feel like they were in like a big open space, and I didn't
Yeah,
have that. But when I went up to see the guests, when it definitely needed that, because it felt like they were in like a really big space with only a few of them sat down.
hmm,
So but I didn't really think about it too much, and some uplighters and stuff would have been nice.
yeah. I
So
mean, uplighters are a good little money earner, I think.
yeah, should we get into that? Should we
Side hustle number three.
side I think it's about 28 actually, side hustle 28.
Well, it's oysters,
Yeah,
drones.
yeah,
I feel like I've forgotten what the fourth. Oh, hire a bridesmaid. That's three. And now uplighters. That's four.
yeah, but we've also got podcast,
True.
we've got decor business, of
Yep.
which we do floristry, stationery design. I mean, it's just endless, isn't it?
And also the merchandise man that's got in touch wants to partner on wedding favours.
I mean, what? Here we go. Here we go.
Taking over the world, we are. Tyler and I, when we worked together in previous job, he used to refer to us as Pinky in the Brain. Because she would be like, "Oh, what are we doing today?" Taking over the world would always be the answer. So true.
So
One
true.
wedding related business at a time.
Yep. And also, I just want to give you a shout out. So, because you had a 2-day wedding,
Hmm.
and you weren't sort of reenacting your ceremony, because a lot of people go to the registry office, don't
Yeah.
they, and then they have a separate day where they sort of reenact their set. Because you didn't do that. You having the videographer filming that day and producing sort of a cinematic version, so was really special, because as a guest that wasn't at, if you weren't at that ceremony, you felt like you were there, and you felt like you were part of that wedding. If you hadn't have done that, it would have just felt like you were at a dinner.
Yeah.
So that was really, really clever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But even the level of detail that went into that, but the pre-recording of the stuff, the whole creative concept, all of the photos that we submitted, even our videographer going through his own archives of videos of Ian and I from different events that we've been on with the videographer there. So much went into just that 10 minutes of the wedding. But
it made it.
Yeah.
That was energy and time well spent.
Yeah. And I still watch it to this day.
There you go then.
I love it. And because it's a combination of my vision and the videographer's skills, abilities, the way that he created it. It's just curated extremely well.
It is, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what suggestions I found for anybody that's thinking about, oh, I really want to do a few little bits, but I don't know what to do?
Yes, I do.
So, bit of a tedious link here, but had a dream last night that I was a contestant in Married at First Sight. And they'd paired me up with somebody called Ben, don't know who that was, because he wasn't interested in being anywhere near me unless the cameras were filming.
Cool.
But it made me think about writing your own vows. They all do that on Married at First Sight. And I think that's the nicest part, because you get to hear a bit about the person that they are. I mean, bearing in mind that these people have never met before, so they sort of have to do that. But I think if you write, and sometimes, when people say, oh, write your own vows, no, no thanks. But I think there's a way that you can do it that isn't cringe. If you do if you think about it, it's like mini speech to your partner. Not vows. Forget about vows, because I promise whatever and I shall not this. Don't worry about that. Do a little mini speech to your partner, because I think that could be very meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah, I like listening to them. I would not do one myself, because that would just cause me a lot of anxiety. I literally would just want to say what I need to say and get out of there. But
I do.
Cool, off we go. But yeah, listening to them when they're done well is nice.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the reading that we've got to do in September?
I'm just going to say what you tell me to say, Jen.
Great.
No, I think that's a bit different, because I'm not doing it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to think of a concept, don't have to write the words on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do your vows, you tend to sit down with a blank piece of paper, don't you, and think about what you love about that person. I think that's quite difficult.
Yeah, but you could just use ChatGPT.
Well, I mean,
Put in a few. Please, can you write a speech including this? Make some bullet points, and then voila.
That's true, actually.
So you wouldn't have to worry about, oh God, what am I going to write? Let ChatGPT do that for you.
Fair enough. Good idea.
That's what we're doing for September. So
I'm literally logging into ChatGPT now, see if we can quickly write some vows.
okay.
Vows to Jen.
Yeah,
I can't remember my password though, so it's
brilliant.
not going too well.
Shall I move on to the next one while you're doing that?
Yes, please.
Incorporate family traditions. So I
Yeah.
tried to think of an example, but I couldn't think of any examples of my family traditions. But you do an Easter egg hunt, don't you?
Yeah, Easter, but I've started that. So the last couple of years we have an Easter egg. We have like an Easter challenge where it's like a mini sports day. I've got like a little trophy, and you in coloured teams with ears.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pink team and a blue team and a yellow team, and it's like a sack race and an egg and spoon race and an Easter egg hunt and a throw the bunny tail type thing.
That is a family tradition.
Yeah, so you could have like a mini Easter challenge type
Mm-hmm.
thing.
I couldn't think of any others, so
I've not got a very traditional set family, but there will be people, won't there, that wear like people that, I don't know, say a prayer before every meal.
mhm.
If you're a family that do that, you could do that before your reception, couldn't you?
Or they have a photograph taken as a family every year. That could be your family photograph for that year, and you could,
And your tables could be the year, and each your table names could be the photo with the year on the top.
yes,
1982, 1983, 1984.
that's right.
There you go.
I mean, you're going to need to have a lot of tables if you're starting at 1982.
I don't know why I started there, but I just went tradition. They start. Yeah,
Because people do that, don't they?
yeah.
Mainly Americans do it for Christmas cards, but
It's becoming more
or
popular, isn't it?
you could, so people do that thing where they retake a picture from their childhood and they're in the same position, same clothes-ish,
So funny. Like
same,
the sibling groups.
yes,
Yeah.
you could also do that.
Yep.
Not sure any other family
Or if you
traditions.
kind of do a family holiday every year, because you know some people in a half term they always go to Brighton
Mhm.
as a you could like incorporate something to do with Brighton and that type of thing.
Yeah, I thought that was quite nice.
It is nice.
Consider a small wedding. That's something small
Hey
that you
ho.
can do.
I think small weddings are good because you don't have to you can spend the money on more meaningful details.
Yeah.
You can have more flowers, you can have more food because you're not trying to spread your budget too thin. And I think
Hmm.
it gives a more full experience for people.
Yeah, I do too.
When they
And
get too big, they're a bit impersonal.
and you could have like rooftop terrace in London kind of wedding vibes
Yeah.
with a stunning view of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was going to do it again, I think I'd probably,
Cut it down even more.
yeah,
I don't think I'd be getting an invite because you didn't get an invite to mine, no?
not that petty M, so don't you worry. Venues or places with personal meaning.
Yeah.
First date locations, favorite restaurant. I don't know. Family home is actually one of them that's written down. So if you've got, I know somebody who, did I write that down? Home wedding, yeah. I know a few people that have, so their family homes are in the middle of the countryside and they've got great big gardens. My best friend, she had more or less her wedding in her parents' back garden. I know somebody else that's hosted their daughter's wedding in their back garden. It's just,
I've been to a wedding in a back garden, but it the your friends probably have quite big back gardens. This was like a terrace house back garden,
Mm-hmm.
really small wedding. Everybody pitched in. It's great fun.
Yeah. I just think, how nice is that?
Hmm.
I think parents' house is probably a bit better because then you're not like hosting everyone in your house and you're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
thinking about, oh God, I've got to tidy up tomorrow. Whereas they'll just sort of do that for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I thought that would be great. If you could do that for your kids, why wouldn't you do that?
Because also, if you can pick anywhere to have a wedding, the only limitation is actually having your ceremony,
Hmm.
because there's only certain places that have licenses. But if you were to get married a week before in the registry office and then have a ceremony,
Hmm.
and you can get married anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to say wedding venue. Like, when you Google wedding venues, it doesn't have to be that. If you had your first picnic in the middle of the forest, find out who owns that part of the forest and hire some of it and get
Hmm.
a teepee put in it and good to go.
Have a great time.
Hmm.
Alternative MC. To have somebody MC your wedding, that's either a professional or, I don't know, your local barman who knows you both really well. Or in your case, your local Chinese takeaway reception person
Yep,
knows you really well.
fish and chip shop person.
Yeah, just a different version of an
They
MC.
called Deliveroo driver. Come on in.
Or, your spin instructor or your personal trainer.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Take song requests, but we've already talked about that. Flower girl in something blue.
That's nice.
Thought you'd like
However,
that.
technically, there's something borrowed, something new, something old, something blue. I did that in the wrong order. Has to be on your person for it to work.
You could just carry the kid down the aisle. No
Yeah,
problemo.
little baby, your
How
little
long?
newborn baby in a little blue outfit. Off you
Cute.
go. Yeah.
How long does it need to be on your person for? Because
I don't know.
I thought that was quite cute.
It is really cute.
Custom monogram.
Love that.
My best
I
friend
mean,
had a coat of arms custom made for her wedding.
that's one step further than, yeah, that's nice. Because you can put that everywhere.
Yeah.
You have that little logo made. You can put that on your save the dates, your invites, all your wedding stationery.
Your cake.
You could buy like a wax stamp with it on. You could
Yeah.
buy a paper press so it sort of presses it on everything.
Napkins, coasters.
And actually, once you've bought that paper stamp, you can just buy cheap paper napkins, or the slightly thicker paper
Mhm.
napkins, and press it in, and then you look like you've spent thousands on napkins when really you've bought a £50 press and
Mhm.
£50 worth of napkins, and it
Yeah.
honestly looks dollar.
Perfect. Fun cake toppers.
Hmm. This one makes me uncomfortable.
God. I've seen my best friend had Moomins. So top hat male Moomin and then a bridal Moomin. That was quite cute. Cost them a lot of money though. We've obviously seen really close to caricaturist figurines, would you say?
I think we were more going for realism,
Oh,
weren't we?
were we?
I think so.
Oh,
Should we move on?
yep. My cake topper. When I was going through this list, I thought, I didn't really think about it till the last minute. 'Cause I just completely forgot.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't have one. I just sort of had the cake with the cake.
Obviously, I imagine you to have like traditional, in the 1980s when they had like traditional figurines, and you went in and you chose the figurines that looked most like you and George?
No, I had my cake was like sugar flowers, and so they just sort of done sugar flowers on the top.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen pictures of
Anything that
rainbow.
looks like a person that's on the top of a cake or is like big and bulky, I don't really like it. Because I quite like the simplicity of a cake in it.
Mm.
Um, and normally the tier at the top is the smallest one. You put these two big massive things on, so that's lost me a little bit.
I like a dainty nod to a wedding cake anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about cutting the cake or anything like that. I don't really see the point.
No.
And I'd rather just take it home and eat the whole thing with a fork. So.
Yeah. The top tier of the cake's supposed to be for the christening of your first baby anyway. It's supposed to be frozen.
Christening of my first dog.
Perfect. Perfect.
I ate the cake in the weeks after the wedding, so that's no hope for
I
that.
know, as a guest, we didn't even get a bit of the cake, guys.
No.
Jen just took it home.
Why would I do that?
Put that in my bag.
Serve local delights. E.g., if you had a wedding in Lincoln, Lincolnshire sausages. Or Cornwall, Cornish pasty.
What examples you've got there? Come on.
Pluck those out of my mind earlier. I couldn't think of any more because the examples that I was researching, things like oysters, I don't know where they come from. So the sea,
Somewhere with the sea next to it.
yeah, I don't know anywhere in the UK that's renowned
So
for
if
its
you're getting
oysters.
married in Blackpool, you could have had stick a rock, because I think that's very Blackpool.
Whitby scampi, isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Battenberg cake. Where's that from?
Battenberg.
Oh no, I was thinking more Bakewell. Bakewell tarts. Melton Mowbray. You could then have a pork pie themed wedding.
There you go. Haggis.
Yeah,
This covers the whole of Scotland.
yeah.
I mean, we are just full of the ideas, aren't we?
What a great idea. I thought the Lincolnshire sausage was the best suggestion. Wedding day cookies. I think we should have put this on our 2024 predictions because cookies are everywhere these days.
We've definitely heard recently when we were doing a walkthrough with a couple, they're doing cookies for their favours, aren't they?
Yeah. And like shiny icing on top of the cookie with the detail in.
Mm-hmm.
Like that when you're going to bite into that, it's going to be like iced gems.
No, I was thinking more party rings.
Oh yeah.
Artie had some party rings today.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I love a party ring. Did you know that they're very low in calories? So if you're on a super calorie deficit diet, cheeky little party ring pack, it's like 80 calories for 4, I think. Something crazy like that. Maybe a bit more, but
there we go. I've got a bag of them.
they're so delicious. But you could even have party rings. I'm not complaining about that.
No, because they're quite wedding-y colours too, aren't they? They're quite pastel.
Mm-hmm.
Little organza bag full of mini party rings. I mean, nobody would complain about that, would they?
That's a great idea.
It's better than sugar-covered almonds, isn't it?
I quite like those.
I know, but you'd prefer a party ring, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they're also gluten-free. I think they might be vegan.
I mean, we are just ticking all the boxes, aren't we?
Yeah. So I think that's the best idea you've ever had on this podcast.
Thank you.
Well done. Include a map in your invitations. It's like a map of, I don't know, from venue to ceremony and the car park.
I think that's quite a good idea, especially you can do the main road and the exit you need to take and how to enter and the best place to park, especially because not all venues have loads of parking. Sometimes you've got to park down a ditch somewhere, haven't you, on the main road? So
I also don't think it has to be an extravagant map.
no, like a simple line drawing, I think will be quite elegant.
What do you think about this one? A ring warming ceremony.
Oh, I mean, it sounds horrendous, but I quite like it.
What?
Do you know what it is?
I do after this afternoon. Both rings are passed through the guests to send their good wishes before being placed on each finger. Ugh.
What's about it? It's people sending good jujus to you.
I'd rather that they just
They're not like fingering it.
happy thoughts. I don't need you touching it in your little hand, passing it on to the crusty uncle. No.
So it doesn't, they're not literally just like naked rings floating around. You have them in like a little bag.
Not in the picture that I saw, it's
Well,
naked rings.
no, I like them in a little bag or a little nice box together, and you just pass the box around and people, you know, send their gratitude towards them. I think it's nice.
I'd rather they sent money.
Send the rings round with an envelope. People can put their cash in. If you don't have anything nice to say, put a £50 note in this envelope, please.
Just saying, okay?
Yeah. I
Um,
could probably prefer the cash too.
yeah. Showcase your birthstones.
It's nice. Where would you showcase them?
You can have like a glass dish as part of your centerpieces filled with your mixture of birthstones.
Nice. I mean, you'd be screwed if they were precious stones, wouldn't you?
Well, mine's an opal, so
I mean, we could just fake it. Fake it till you make it.
yeah. You know, it's probably like an emerald or something irritating.
Just a green and white stone. Here you go.
You might be happy about this one too. Instead of a first dance, how about a first game of Twister?
Yeah, perfect. Done. Perfect. Because I've got my tracksuit on by now. I'm out of my dress. I've got my wifey tracksuit on with my Converse. So I'm Yep. Perfect.
Twister ready.
Twister ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've said it before, and I'm sure we'll say it again. Send your guests home with a snack.
Yeah, 100%. Happy meal. Get McDonald's 11:30 to deliver 150 Happy Meals. Off people go with their Happy Meal in their taxis. Perfect.
That is the best idea.
Yeah.
So good.
And the thing that people will remember from your wedding is that.
Mm-hmm.
They won't remember what your table names were called. They won't remember that you did a first dance. They won't remember that you had crystals on your table. They'll go, that was the wedding that we left with a Happy Meal. There you go.
Last but not least, matchmaker recognition. So you could decorate the chair of the person who introduced you to your partner.
That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Who introduced you and Jord?
I did that myself.
Oh.
Have I told the story about how we met on the podcast?
No.
Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
So we are third year of uni. And I did my first 2 years in a different campus. So my third year was actually in the university campus. So we're in these lecture theatres, staggered tiered, big lecture theatres. We're all like in our hoodies, slightly hungover. And in strolls this guy with a suit on. And I was like, he knows what he's doing. He's going to make something of his life. And it was Jordan. And he used to work full time and then just pop in to do the lectures and then go again. So I was like, right. And I sort of zoned in on him. And then one day him and his friend got went over to the coffee shop and I just followed them, sat down with them. So yeah, got to know him, and then we was texting. He used to bring Skittles into the lectures, and then I'd get closer. We'd get closer and closer, like from the eaves, and then we'd share the Skittles. It was very
That's
cute.
so cute.
But I definitely honed in on him. Thought he knows what he's doing.
Switch from guy.
He works full time. He comes in a suit. He's going places. Him.
Where was he working?
At a software company. He kind of went. He had a placement year, so he was working there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have Skittles at your wedding?
No, but we could have.
You should have.
This is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you should have done that.
Had Skittles at our wedding because that was a very bonding moment.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, very cute. So we didn't have somebody really.
You could have decorated your own chair.
Yeah.
Said matchmaker on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there are people out there. Does he know that you stalked him for a while before you got to him?
We'll maybe get him on the podcast and he can explain it from his point of view about how it went down.
That would be great. Do you think he'd come on? Yeah, good. Sit.
So I have some vows for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
So
can we just set the scene a quick sec?
yeah,
So I can get in the zone. We are beach wedding. Our celebrant is one of our good friends. We have a heart-shaped arch at the end of our aisle that we're standing in front of with some whimsical flowing in the sea breeze fabric. We've both got gorgeous bouquets.
Yeah.
Emma, if you would like to say your vows to Jennifer.
My dearest Jennifer, as I stand before you on this monumentous day, I am overwhelmed with gratitude and joy. Today, I vow to honour and cherish you for the days of our lives. From the moment we met, I knew there was something special about our bond. You've been my confidant, my partner in mischief, and my rock through the highs and lows. You've seen me at my best and stood by me at my worst, always offering unwavering support and love. Today, I promise to continue nurturing our friendship with the same dedication and care as I have all these years. I vow to be there for you in times of laughter and in times of tears, to celebrate your triumphs and lift you up in your struggles. I promise to listen with an open heart and to speak with honesty and kindness. I pledge to respect our differences and to cherish the qualities that make you unique. As we embark on this journey together, I promise to be your partner in all things. I promise to love you fiercely, to encourage you endlessly, and to stand by your side through whatever life may bring. With you, I have found my truest friend, my greatest supporter, and my forever ally. Today, I give you not only my love, but also my unwavering commitment to our friendship. I am grateful beyond words to have you as my best friend, and I pledge to cherish and honour our bond for as long as I live. With all my love, your Emma.
Oh, so cute.
Really cute. So I basically put vows to my best friend. So you could put to whatever.
I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
It's from the heart.
With the help of ChatGPT.
But I do find when you put in prompts into like an AI, it does say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if you're dyslexic like I, that you can't physically write down. So everything I said there would be something that I'd want to say to you as a friend, but that I wouldn't know where to start. So it's not like bad to use it, I don't think.
I don't either.
If you can pepper in other little bits and examples maybe, but
I think
this is nice.
That was beautiful. I do.
I do too. True. Sorry, that didn't work. That was a really bad link. That's what happens when I don't use ChatGPT.
Please like, subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on whatever platform you listen or watch us on. Keep up to date with the podcast by following our Instagram account at the I Do Agree Podcast. Send us your questions or topics you'd like us to chat through. Next week, we're talking holiday weddings. When does a wedding at Christmas become a Christmas wedding? But until then, it's goodbye from me and my wife,
Emma. Oh, that felt odd because normally I say it's goodbye from me. So you really threw me there. Can we do that again?
Okay, wait. But until then, it's goodbye from me and my wife.
And it's goodbye from me and my wife. No? Cool.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the I Do Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Keep up to date with our podcast news by following our I Do Crew podcast Instagram account. Thanks for listening.